All right. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Okay, just making sure I am live. Yep. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dr. Izene, Dr. Z, and I am coming to you live with There Goes the Gut. All right. I am a thyroid health coach. I'm a pharmacist, and I help people with Hashimoto's or Graves' disease go from struggle with their health to strength. Okay. I am passionate about what I do because I know that there are a lot of people out there that really needs the information that I'm presenting. So despite my busy schedule, I have to find time to do this because I know a lot of people want this information. Okay. All right. So before we get started, I am going to be talking about gut health. All right, gut health and what it has to do with autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease. All right, it's very, very important. But before I start that, I wanted to say that every country, right, every country is as good as their defenses. Every country, everyone is good as their defenses. If your defenses are down, you are very limited, right? Anything can pass through. Anything can pass through. So, the same way as humans, just generally, we are as good as our defenses. And for us, what defense is that? Defense against infection, whether it's bacterial, viral, whether it is harmful toxins, you are as good as your defenses. Our two main defenses are our guts, which I'll be talking more about, and our skin. Right? A lot of people don't know, but our skin is our first line of defense, as well as our guts. So the skin will protect you from anything on the outside, and then when you eat something, your gut protects you from anything that will harm you. Right? Um, Going forward, your gut will be anything that is involved in the where your food will pass through. So when you swallow your food, when it goes through the esophagus down to your stomach and small intestines, but the large intestine, your rectum, they're all part of your gut. So wherever that any pathogens, or when I say pathogens, I mean if bacteria or viral can pass through. So these are what your gut will help. Your gut will protect you. Only let the things that you need, like the nutrients that you need, it will let it to pass. And the things that you don't need, it will, take that together and then you can pass it up. Right. So all things being good and equal, this is how your body is supposed to work. But in autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, where the immune system is attacking the thyroid gland, either making it causing it to make less thyroid hormones in the term or in the case of Hashimoto's, or causing it to make a lot of thyroid hormones in the case of Graves' disease. These scenarios, the research has seen that the gut has a lot to do with it, right? So taking thyroid hormone alone for Hashimoto's, or taking medications that will stop the thyroid from making a lot of thyroid hormone alone, does not help in the long run. Yes, it has its place to help control what is going on at that time, but in the long period of time, a lot of people with these conditions still notice that they're still having they're still having these disease conditions, right? They're still having the symptoms, all right? So another thing, a lot of people already know that the gut has something. to do with the autoimmune disease, right? That's why they first of all start cutting off gluten. Gluten is the first thing that everyone talks about. Hey, it's gluten, and some people will tell you, well, you only cut off gluten if you have celiac disease. Yes and no. If you have celiac disease, definitely no gluten. But even if you did not test positive for celiac disease, you still can benefit from cutting off gluten, right? Everyone can benefit from cutting off gluten because of the way gluten works. Gluten, which is really by what is formed when you make wheat, the certain way that is made, it can affect everyone, right? So it's not just people with celiac disease. So the extent to which this can happen can be different for a lot of people, and it all depends on so many other factors, so many other things like your sleep, your exercise, and stress, and all those things. They all play a role. It's not just one thing, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm going to remove gluten and then everything is good and dandy. No, no, everything is not good and dandy just by removing gluten. Yes, it's gonna help you. Yes, you might stop seeing some hair losses. Yes, you might start seeing yourself less depressed. Yes, it might help with the anxiety. Yes, it might help with the diarrhea, constipation, and whatever. But it is not the only thing, right? So the reason I'm doing this, someone asked me one time, I was like, hey, I'm trying to heal my gut. And it's not I'm not getting to where I need to be, right? I'm not going to talk about Today, I'm not going to talk about the signs that you might have, your gut has not healed, or how to track your progress. I'm not talking about that today. I wanted to talk about five things that can um, cause you to continue to have gut issues even when you're trying to heal it, right? You're trying to heal it, you remove gluten, you're taking care of all these other things, but you don't know what is going on. You even trying diets, right? But the diets are not working as they should for you. You're not seeing what you need to see. So I'm going to talk about five things, right? So the first thing is, you might guess it, alcohol, right? The first thing is alcohol. I know that a lot of people like alcohol. Well, not a lot of people. Some people. Let me say some people. Some people like alcohol, and some might even tell you red wine can help you and long life and all that good stuff. Yeah, for me, I see alcohol as a drug. In certain amount, it can become a poison. It can become a poison. See, the way alcohol affects your gut is very unique, right? A lot of people that take large quantities of alcohol, they even notice that when they stop drinking, some of their gut issues starts getting better. Okay, I'm not going into specific details because if I do, this video is gonna be a class. Okay, but alcohol can affect the way your gut works. Okay, it's gonna affect the way the gut lining, which is supposed to protect you, is going to affect it in so many different ways. Right? The second one is SIBO. All right, it's not showing for some reason, but it's SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And this happens when your small intestine, which is a part of your gut, has too many of bacteria. In the normal, all things being equal, we all have bacteria, we all have viruses, we all have some form of fungi in our gut. And those ones, they're not supposed to cause any disease. When I say they're not supposed to cause any disease, they have a mutual relationship with us. So we provide them a place to stay. And they and we also give them nutrients. Like what we eat, we're also feeding them. And then they help us by breaking down some of the foods that we don't have the enzymes to break down. And they also help us to fight off foreign bacteria or viruses or fungus that come in. You see, pathogens like viruses, bacteria, fungi, they are very territorial, and they will mark their territory. So them marking their territory is even a good thing for us, right? It's a good thing for us because they will help us. They will help us protect us from outside things. So all things being equal, we have a healthy amount of bacteria. But you see what happens is that with life, when even from the time that you're born, whether you're breastfed or not breastfed, that also affects the amount of bacteria that you have in your gut. Whether you start taking antibiotics as a child or any sneeze or anything, you're taking antibiotics, anti-fungals, antibacterials, anything. When you're taking those medication, that can also kill off some of the species or some of the bacteria or that is helping us, right? And when that happens, they're not there to mark their territory. So an outside infection or outside bacteria can come in to chill, right? They come in to chill. And when they come in to chill, they start causing problem. And if their gut is already damaged, then they can pass through that and enter into our bloodstream and even cause more problem. They even cause more problem. So in when you're trying to heal your gut, which is your first line of defense, okay? The first line of defense when it comes to protecting us from any foreign matter, really, any foreign thing like bacteria, toxins. I would say bacteria, but there's bacteria, fungi, viruses, and even protozoa, and so. But just so many of them out there. So when there's an overgrowth going on and you're trying to heal your gut, remember these bacteria or fungi, they are they don't want the good stuff to end. They want access. So they can keep making the issues worse so that they will have the environment that they need. They'll have the environment that they need to continue to grow because hey, everything is a jungle, really. Even your body is a jungle. It wants to survive. It wants to survive. So everything wants to survive, and everything is about survival of the fetus. They want to continue to have access to the nutrients that they need. Okay. And then the third one. Now that you notice that when you take care of those infections, you are one step closer to healing your gut. Okay. Another one, say this one will work. Food sensitivities. Right? Food sensitivities. It's another thing that can stop gut from healing. Food sensitivities is different from an allergy, right? Some people will say, I was able to cure my allergy, something like that. But my food allergy. Maybe it wasn't an allergy in the first place. It might have been a sensitivity. Because when you eat certain foods and you start to feel so bad, if you eat certain food and you just start to feel so bad, not breaking out in hives, maybe there might be some hives, but it might not happen immediately. That can be a food sensitivity. Allergies is something that the moment that you take that thing or the moment it comes into your body, you already have your immune system is on top of stuff. It stores information. It does not get rid of it. That's why when people have allergies to peanut, and when I mean allergy means when they take it, their throat is all swollen shut and they can't breathe. That one, don't even try it. Food sensitivities, on the other hand, is very tricky. It might happen immediately, and it can show up in form of rash, headache, feeling sad, depressed for no reason, just after eating food, or even a couple of hours. Some even happen days after. And you might not even know that it was that thing that you ate that is actually causing this symptom. So when people have food sensitivities and they continue to eat those food that continue to keep the gut inflamed or on their toes, the gut cannot heal because you're still introducing things that are fighting against the healing. So food sensitivities is something to watch out for. And if you're interested in knowing more about food sensitivities, just let me know. I will come back here live and I will talk about it in details. So all these things I'm talking about, I can go deep into it, but this would be a whole class. All right. And the fourth one is stress. Stress is the fourth one. In the country or in the present world that we are in, stress has become next to drinking water. It has become next to drinking water because now people are like, oh, I'm just stressed. I'm just stressed. And then you just live it. Well, do something about it. Stress. Well, really, when they say stress is the root cause of all illness, well, part of it. Well, there's always stress in some level. There's always stress. Stress, emotional stress, physical stress, even exercise stress. You stress yourself a lot by exercising and pushing yourself beyond your limits. For a short period of time, that might work, but if you keep doing that, especially when you have Hashimoto's and you're gaining all this weight and you're reading on Google and the internet, you're watching YouTube videos and they're telling you that, hey, the only reason you're not losing that weight is because you're not eating right and you're not exercising. You better get there and exercise. Uh, yes, but no. Because exercising too much, without having the proper nutrition, not just about cutting foods out and fasting and doing this and doing that. The time that you eat, you need to get the proper nutrition. And if you don't have that and you're exercising beyond limits, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Your things are gonna get worse. Your gut is not gonna heal. You're gonna be having constipation or excessive diarrhea or just a mixture of both. Or every time you eat, your stomach is inflamed, you're bloated, too much gas. Stress, stress, stress is also a cause why um, a lot of gut is not being healed. And not only physical stress and emotional stress, there's also chemical stress. Chemical stress, how? The toxins. So many toxins. There's toxins when we're breathing, there's toxins that we put on our body, there's toxins that we put on our face, there's toxins that we put on our lips as lip gloss, there's toxins that we put on every and anything. And we even eat toxins, from the food, from water, so many of them. So all that will lead to the same thing, stress. And it will also release the same thing that it needs, that the body would sense as inflammation, that will keep the gut open, or things that will not let the gut heal properly. Okay. And the last but not the least, and this is not an exhaustive list. If you're interested in more exhaustive list, let me know. The last but not the least that I'm going to be talking about in this session is medication. Medication. I, as a pharmacist, I am very passionate about educating the public about medication use, right? There's a thin line between a medication and a poison. They're really the same thing. I mean, look at Botox, right? Look at Botox. In the earlier times when Botox was made, it was made as a toxin to kill people, right? They used it in wars. But now they're able to dial things down and give it to people to help with some things like headache and overactive bladder and over when people are salivating, they're bringing out a lot of making too much saliva. There's so many uses of Botox these days. A lot of people know it for just wrinkles, but there's so many uses because somebody or some people they found a safe dose. Safe. Safe, okay, or tolerable dose that will not kill people, at least not right now. Right? No, it's not funny. It's not funny because look, I have a problem with something that can be dangerous as to killing people being used. But hey, it's my opinion, right? Your body, your choice. So, medications. One that really stands out that I want to talk about is NSAIDs. NSAIDs. When I say NSAIDs, talking about things like ibuprofen or naproxen, things that you take over the counter or the doctor prescribed for arthritis and all the other stuff. Now remember, in autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's and Graves' disease, and even any other rheumatoid arthritis, right? The gut is playing a big role. The gut is playing a big role in you know in what is going on. So I would first of all, those medications, ah man, I don't even know where to start from. I have a personal history with ibuprofen. I have a personal history with ibuprofen. And thank God, with the help of God and the help of finding functional medicine, I've been able to quit ibuprofen for over a year. No, it's not even a year now. It's going to 2 years. You know, going to 2 years. So I am, you know, oh man. Look, as a pharmacist, I knew that ibuprofen was not good, right? I knew it was not good. So but I was like, okay, I can help with the side effect by eating with ibuprofen. Because me personally, I cannot take ibuprofen without eating. I cannot. Like unless I want to die from pain, which you're taking the ibuprofen for, which makes no sense. But I was ate with it. And I did this for years. I was taking this for menstrual cramps. Because sometimes the cramps would be so horrible, like I cannot even. So I would take ibuprofen all the time for my period. But it wasn't until one day after taking ibuprofen for my period, I started having all these gastro side effects. I was throwing up, so many things happening, and this was when it dawned on me, right? This is when it dawned on me that something really bad was going on. Yes, I had to get tested for H. pylori, which I ended up having, and I got treated for that. But it was really an eye opener, right? It was really an eye opener for me. And when I started looking more into medications like ibuprofen, I realized that food alone does not stop the gut issues. Yes, you might not have the pain right now, but it's doing something underneath. It's doing something underneath. And yes, I was able to get off ibuprofen and menstrual cramps and all that PMS using functional medicine. I'm happy to announce to you that I don't take it because I don't need it, not because I found an alternative. I don't take it because I don't need it, because I got to the root cause of what was going on, right? What was going on? And mind you, I was taking ibuprofen because of heavy bleed, not heavy bleeding, but there's some days I will bleed excessive, and I was taking ibuprofen to try to control that. But when I got off, I realized that I didn't even need it in the first place. Medications is a big thing that can stop your gut from healing. It is a big thing that can stop your gut from healing. So, just to recap, the five things that can be causing your gut to not heal the way you want it, even though you've removed gluten, you're eating all these nourishing foods, and it's not helping. The first one is alcohol. Okay. Second one, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. If you're not addressing that, that can also stop your healing or stop, like slow down your healing. The third one is, what did I even say? All right, food sensitivities. Food sensitivities is the third one. The fourth one is stress. And the fifth one is medication. I just talked about ibuprofen because it's the one that just jumped out. If you're also taking steroid medications, it can also affect it. There's a long list of medications that can mess with your gut. Okay, there's a long list. It's a long list. But this is all I have for today. And if you have any question in your health journey, you're wondering about some things, just let me know. All right. Hi, Tara. I hope I'm saying your name properly. Tiara. But thank you for joining. And if you're catching this video afterwards, just be sure to leave your comments, ask me any questions. I'll be going back in and looking, and I'll be answering any question that you might have. If you're interested in going deeper into your health, right? If you're interested in knowing what is causing my gut from not healing, I just give 5 things, but really, there's a long list of it, and it's different for different people. Because not a lot of people take alcohol, and not a lot of people are taking the medications that can stop the guts from healing. But if you're interested in going deeper and knowing what exactly is going on, how can I start my healing journey, or how can I continue my healing journey? And this is for people that have Hashimoto's, or if you have Graves' disease. And these people, they also have some other autoimmune disease going on, because that's how that's how things go. If you don't take care of things right now, it's setting you up for more things. So if you're interested in this, let me know. You can go to the website showing on your screen and apply to work with me. And I'll be back here again tomorrow with another good stuff for you. Until next time, stay blessed by God. Shalom.